In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the beautiful new words in the JND412 ornamental words, along with the JND391 mistletoe wreath die to make this beautiful wreath on top. And one of the reasons I'm doing this as a video is I absolutely love this card, but also to show you to be careful. And also, so I have another copy because I managed to get a little bit of red on here, so I have spoiled it a little bit. So at the end, I will have a nicer version of this card. So we're going to start, and I've got a piece of coconut white essential card, and I've cut this down to 5 by 7, so a standard size. And all we're going to do is we're going to take the Merry and the Christmas from the ornamental words. So in the large size, you get 3 dies, Merry, Happy and Christmas. In the smaller dies, which is the smallest size of the sentiments we do, you get Happy, Merry, Seasons, Greetings, Christmas and Noel, so 6 of those. And all I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to take these 2 dies and I'm going to tape these together. So I'm going to make sure that they're exactly set at the same size. So put them together at the same size, evenly put together, and just tape them down. So I've effectively got 1 die. I'm then going to use the sections on my mat to make sure that I get a nice straight line and get those down and put on there. And we'll simply tape that down and run that through our die cutting machine and cut that. Now I have a piece here that I've already got cut that I'm going to bring in. And you see we get that beautiful Merry Christmas. Choose my glue eraser, take any marks off, popping through. So if we pop that behind a piece of sort of the beautiful Christmas red, it's already really, really effective. But I want to add a little bit of level of depth on this. So I'm going to use one of the embossing folders, and these will be out very soon. So all I'm going to do is making sure I've got the side with the raised pattern, and I want to put that so that the line of the embossing folder is touching the line where it's cut. And all I do then is I'm going to bring my machine in so that you can see, is I put my paper in first, put my folder, my plate over the top, so that I'm not marking any area that I don't want to emboss. So we simply run that through and emboss it. And we get that beautiful embossed surface. I'm then going to rotate round my folder and do exactly the same on the bottom edge. So that the line is meeting exactly with that line there. Again, pop that onto my base. Pop my base plate, my plate over the top, feed the card through, and then just run it through. And that allows us to make sure we're only embossing the sections that we actually want to emboss. So you can see there, I have that beautiful embossed top and bottom. We're just leaving that Merry Christmas. Nice and simple and easy. So all we're then going to do is add a little bit of foam tape onto the back of this. So I'm putting 2 layers of foam tape on the bottom to support it accurately. I'll put that bit just there in the middle. And I'm going to take a little bit more foam tape and again put it at the top of this aperture. And again at the top of the card. So 4 strips and a little bit in the middle to support it. And I'm just going to reveal my foam tape as I would do normally. And I've got a piece of red card, and this is Christmas Red. And this is from the Craft Artist Essential card range, which I've cut to slightly smaller. So this is 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. So it's just a little bit smaller than the outside card so that it doesn't pop through when I turn it over. And we could just go with that straight onto a card blank, and this is a 6 by 8 card blank. Really nice, but we want to add a little bit of a focal element. So I'm going to use the dies now in the mistletoe wreath die set. So I have here a piece of coconut white card, and I want to create a backer for the wreath. So I take all 3 dies of the wreath, I take the outside line first, and we loosely tape that down, making sure that the tape doesn't come too far over into the middle. I then place the next die in the set in place. This will give us the accurate spacing. And I then take the central die and I pop that in. Once I'm happy that they're even, I simply then take another small piece of tape and simply tape in this center die, which allows me to lift out the wreath itself, and those are set to give me the perfect mat. So I would take a long piece of tape across one way and the other direction, because I want to cut this in white and green. So I would run this through my die cutting machine, and I will show you how I'm going to just do that off camera so that I can show you how it looks when it's actually cut. Because what we want to do is we want to cut exactly the same shape in green. So I simply ease out the pieces and leave that die taped together just like that. That's why I love the Craft Artist tape. I can then pop that onto the green card and again simply run that through my die cutting machine, and that will give me another backer exactly the same size. So we'll pull that one out and you'll see here, and you can go through with this tape at least sort of 10 times I've found. I think I've been through once 25 times with it. But it just, if you're making batch cards, it makes it so much easier having it set like that. So there we have our white and our green, but we want the little mini wreath in the center. So I'm going to take another piece of green card. I'm now going to use the actual center wreath itself. We'll tape that down, run that through and cut it. I've actually got one here I've already cut. You see if I drop it onto the white how beautifully delicate it is. So we're now going to start stacking this together. So I'm going to bring in my card and I'm going to start with my green. So we'll simply, using our Craft Artist Super Tacky Glue, love the new Easy Squeeze bottle, pop that onto place, onto the card blank. I'm then going to start with the green, and I've turned it over, and I'm using some Plin Flare glue gel and a cocktail stick, and I'm just going to add a few bits of this on. You can use foam tape, but sometimes it's very difficult around a circle when it's quite fine. So using the glue gel is one of the better ways to do this. So I'm just going to pop that on nice and centrally. I'm then going to take my white piece, and again I'm going to take some little bits of the glue gel just around in the larger pieces. This gives a real beautiful dimension on this, and I'm going to put that on by rotating it. So I'm going to rotate the piece so that we've got a double layer. And you can see there we've got that beautiful layer of green just popping through the white. I'm then going to take my little wreath, and on this I don't want to use anything, I want it to be quite loose, I don't want to use anything too harsh. So I'm using the Glue Glaze, again by Craft Artist, which has this beautiful lip gloss applicator, which just means it goes completely flat, quick drying, and is fantastic for delicate die cuts. So a few little bits of that on, and then I can match it in to that wreath. And I don't want it to be perfect, I just want it to be on the white. There we go, give that a little press. You can see there in certain areas it's popping out and round. Just give that a little bit of a more press down, there we go. So we've got our beautiful mix of wreath, and it almost looks like a topper. It looks like a pre-bought sort of top of this, but it's so easy to make and cut. So I've made a little treble bow using red and white baker's twine. This is from the Art of Craft. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue gel just in the center of that wreath and pop my bow in, which again just has that beautiful Christmas look. And to finish it off, I'm going to use some of the red Pearl Dimension, And I'm just going to pop a beautiful berry on each of those double leaf joints. Always easier, move the work, not yourself, but just nice and evenly all the way around. And we have those beautiful, we need another one there, berries going all the way around, bringing the colours together. Christmas red and the Christmas green with the beautiful coconut white. For more ideas, hints, tips and inspiration, why not visit the Crafting with John Next Door and Crafts 2 group on Facebook. Enjoy.